Today's short is being brought to you by Goya Foods. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Your daily game plan for success. It's Sacks in the Morning. Steve Sacks.
Hi, Steve Sacks here with Sacks in the Morning, and welcome to Monday, the 7th of November. We're going to be talking about playoff performance this week, and we have a lot of great examples. And it's not really just playoff performance. The best way to do it is, do you kick behind? There's another word, but I'm not going to use it. My daughter will get mad at me. Do you kick it when it's time to? Do you answer the call? Do you ring the bell? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about this week. And I got some great examples and how it might relate to your life as well, how you can turn that into something really, really positive. So it only seemed appropriate that since we're finishing up the World Series that we should talk about those people who really stepped it up when they needed to do so. So we've already talked about the preparation for your big events, and now it's time to deliver. We talked about the prep last week. Why is it that some do and others don't? Playoff performance comes in a myriad of different ways. It could be on the job, it could be in professional sports or politics, or even on the battlefield. And speaking of the battlefield, think about this for a minute. Would you want the person next to you who is a star in all the exercises, all the training, does everything right and gets rewards and recognition, only to choke when it comes down to the real deal? Or would you want a person that may not have been the best in all the exercises? Maybe he was good, or maybe he was great at some things. But this person is nails when it comes down to the time where you got to prove it. You know what? If I'm in a foxhole with bullets ringing all around my head, I want that playoff performance dude next to me. That's the person I want. Nothing else matters at that point in time. So that gets me back to some of the names that I wanted to mention for you in the beginning. We all know that there are people that are that type of person. Now, here's a few examples. Michael Jordan, Martina Navratilova in tennis, basically owned it. Aaron Rodgers, what he's done in football, Tiger Woods in golf. How about Serena and Venus in tennis? How long have they been doing it? And just because the World Series is fresh in our minds, how about Justin Verlander? Now, this guy's going to the Hall of Fame, first ballot, no question about it. But folks, here's the stigma that kind of lays around his neck. The stigma that he can't perform in postseason. Justin Verlander, 0-6 with a 6+ ERA in all the World Series that he's been in. Well, in postseason, that's when it really matters. Let's see what he did in Game 5. Justin Verlander got into trouble early in the game and basically bowed his neck, buckled down, and just pitched like the Justin Verlander of old. Remember, this is a guy that's coming off of Tommy John surgery in 2020. Didn't even start a game in 2021. And in 2022, this year, he starts 28 games and went on to just nail Game 5, which sent them on to win the World Series. So had it not been for him, Justin Verlander, in the face of all the people, the naysayers, saying he can't do it in postseason, well, he just did. And he was an amazing reason why the Houston Astros are now World Series champions. So personally, when we won the World Series in '88 and I'm on deck thinking how I'm going to win this game, Kirk Gibson's at the plate. I'm thinking, this guy hasn't played. He hasn't been suited up for the whole game. There's no way he's going to do it. I'm going to have to win this game against Dennis Eckersley. And then pop, he got a hold of a backdoor slider and changed history with that amazing home run that Kirk Gibson hit. He was one of the biggest reasons why we went on to win that World Series, because of his attitude and his never say quit. If you want to be in a foxhole with somebody, Gibby's not a bad guy to start with because of his attitude and the type of player that he is. Well, what type of player are you? How are you performing in your playoffs, in work, in your family, your church, or sport, or whatever it may be? Are you going to be that player that somebody wants to be in the foxhole with? Remember that this isn't about win or lose as a zero sum. It's the type of player you are in whatever you're doing or whatever you find that you want to do in your life. Now, wrap your head around that, and that's my short for today. If you like what you heard, give us a positive review, subscribe, and share. Also, remember that the Sacks in the Morning swag is now available on my Instagram site. Go to SacksInTheMorning_podcast. You'll see it right there on the Instagram, and just hit the link. Everything's there, mugs, hats, tumblers, you name it. Take advantage of it. And thanks to Al Hendrickson Toyota for their support of this podcast. And be sure to visit alhendricksontoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.